Welcome to Power On with Epsilon. Today we will explore how Epsilon Group is expanding its footprint beyond just India to geographies like Finland, the USA, and beyond. All of this while ensuring that financial sustainability is its centerpiece. To break this all down, we have with us Pavan Trrivedi, who's the Chief Finance Officer of Epsilon Group, and he's the leader who's driving this change. So, welcome to the show, Pavan.
Thank you, sir.
So, to begin with, Epsilon has really stirred up the carbon black space in India. So, what's driving this growth?
Our leadership in the carbon black is rooted to the completely backward integration from coal tar distillation to specialty carbon and the carbon black productions. In Vijayanagar, Bellary, we have created first integrated carbon black complex where we are working on the captive feedstock which is used in the manufacturing of the specialty carbon, and the specialty carbon byproduct goes to the carbon black for the production. This provides us unmatched cost reduction or cost optimization opportunities.
Interesting. So, coming to the exciting stuff, can you tell us some big plans that you have for the coming financial year?
So, coming financial year, I think the FY 26-27 will be very pivotal for us. Just now in the March, we have completed our carbon black phase 2, which is around 1 lakh ton capacity that we have completed. Now, overall, our capacity is around 2 lakh 15,000 ton. We're also working on specialty carbon capacity enhancement in the same Bellary plant, which is going to be 300,000 in 26-27. We are also coming the coal tar distillation plant in Odisha,
Right.
which is another 300,000 ton specialty carbon production, which is going to be operational in 26-27. Even on our advanced material space also, we will see the 26-27 as a year where we are going to start the plant in India as well as in North Carolina, US.
Right.
We are also done a acquisition of the cathode business in the last financial year. And in the next financial year, we will see that plant for LFP production of the cathode is also going to be there. So, 26-27, I think we will see the lot of activity in all the business segments of the company.
Right. Sounds very exciting. It seems like you're poised for some tremendous growth. And not just in the future, but I think the company has been growing very rapidly in the past. So, how have you managed to do that while staying true to your sustainability goals?
So, the sustainability in our organization is embedded in each project and each operations that we perform. So, any new project, what we consider, we monitor them and look them from the energy intensity perspective. We also see the emissions on per ton of the productions. We also see the water sustainability as well as the circularity. These are the area that we see, and even from the senior leadership perspective, the KPI on the ESG is already there. So that's how the each and everybody is involved in the entire sustainability activity.
Right. So, can you talk about some of the challenges that you face in this wonderful journey and some insights on how you navigated them?
So, if I see that last 4-5 years, the major challenge was winning the trust. And specifically in the advanced material segment where we are working on the global player, trust becomes little more important. So, the trust related to reliability, where if you see the global EV as well as the cell manufacturer, battery manufacturer player, they are working on the very stringent specifications. Their quality testing takes lot of time for the qualifications. So we work them in the last 4 or 5 years, repetitive performance about production capability as well as the meeting their specification, and that has created certain level of trust, and now where we are today on that. Winning the trust in terms of ESG performance, we work on the ESG and shown them that we are also working on the ESG part. Similarly, the investor community. So if you see the western part of the world, where the similar level of business where people are, they are in position to raise the resources much earlier than we are.
Right.
Having said that, we have worked over the period, created a certain level of the projections, and we also demonstrated that whatever we are projected, we are working on that and we are achieving on that, and now that level of trust has come on. So these are the trust was the important factor, and second is creating a global workforce. Now, this battery segment where we are in, it outside China, where the talent is missing, almost missing, because
Right.
99% activity is happening in the China. So outside China, we need to develop those talent over the period. The cross-cultural training, etc., we need to provide, and that's we have created that workforce who are working with us.
Very interesting. So, since you spoke about your global workforce, global markets are so competitive and fierce. So, what is Epsilon's strategy for long-term success in the global markets?
I think global market, we are three-pronged strategy that we are adopting. One is the local manufacturing. So even in India also the same thought is we moved to Odisha because our customer base is there. The raw material supplier is there. So having said that, we have a manufacturing plant in Vijayanagar, we moved to Odisha. Similar thought is in manufacturing in the US, because for the local customers we want to produce over there. And similarly the thought was in the Finland, that Europe we are going to take from the Finland. Second is the partnership. We want to be deep partnership with them. So whatever the customer discussion we are having, we are talking about longer term partnership, 6-7 years contract, 6-7 year agreement. Similarly, from the people who are involving us more on the funding perspective, we are providing them that level of partnership and openness on this. Third is the end-to-end material. So we are working not only the anode, we are also working on the cathode, so that the cell manufacturer whom we are going to be a partner, we can provide both the materials for their purpose.
Right, right. So, digital innovation is transforming all industries. So, how is Epsilon leveraging technology across functions like hiring or employee experience or any of the other functions?
So technology for us is a enabler. We see this technology as an investment, and in the various function we have put the technology in place. So from the production processes, the all of our productions are completely captured, right from SCADA to the SAP systems. Our energy monitoring system is also in place. If you see the finance is all the Epsilon Carbon as well as its subsidiary companies are in SAP S4 HANA, and now we have even migrated to the SAP RISE. Along with the SAP, we also build the multiple peripheral system which takes care of the productivity of each function. So let's say taxation function. The taxation function is working on a separate system which is linked with the SAP. The payment section, we have created a payment interface with the customer directly or vendor directly. So vendor put their invoices and invoice directly, and they can see that how this invoice is moved and when the payment is going to happen without even asking from any person of the Epsilon.
Right.
So that's what created a transparency on the whole thing. We're also working heavily on the information security. In the information security, we have implemented various tools which takes care of the any so-called threat to our organization. And when we are talking about presence in the multiple market and in the multiple geography, this becomes very important for us.
Right, right. So, what's your vision for Epsilon's financial future?
So I think the finance, the Epsilon Carbon or Epsilon Group in the next 5 years by FY30 is going to have around 10,000 crores global material manufacturing company. Now, it is going to have a EBITDA of around 30% margin. We also want the debt under control, and that's how the debt EBITDA also we want to put less than 3.
Right.
We are building the balance sheet even in the current scenario also with the similar level of discipline, so that the growth is possible.
So, you spoke about global expansion. I'm sure that requires huge amounts of capex, right? So, what are some of the challenges that you have been facing in terms of financing?
So capital formation and the financing, I think, is a tough in this point of time, primarily because people are not understanding the product and more on the advanced material side. Because the entire technology and the manufacturing is happening within one country, and outside there is nothing is available. So the people are not providing that level of information. They do not have that information. So it's becoming very difficult for us to inform and educate the investing community, and that is taking much more time. And I go in my earlier journey. If you see the 2010-11, when the the wind and solar was there in this, even in India,
Right.
there was a lot of difficulty in getting the funding from them.
Correct.
Because people are not very clear, technology evolving on the daily basis, the cost of the plant used to reduce, and that's how the perceived risk used to
Right.
be there in the investing community. And now at least things are settled. People are ready to fund billions of dollars on these projects worldwide. And I think that's going to happen even in the anode and cathode segment also. But it is a time that is going to take, and we are putting our effort to educate the overall investor community and trying to tell them that what are the technology that is are, and how and what are the risk in these technologies.
Right. I'm sure the investors will soon wake up to this. So, in your journey of multiple decades, what is one lesson that has stuck with you and has shaped how you lead today?
So I work in multiple industries, and I think the one relation or one thing that I always keep in mind, the growth without governance is risk, not a success. So achieving the top line in a easy market or maybe favorable market is very easy. But importance is how we can sustain this. And sustainability comes based on the proper capital allocation, based on the cost optimization, as well as the data driven decision making.
Right.
And I think this is what the lesson that I want in my finance team also, that people should monitor these things.
Hmm. So, growth without governance is a risk. I think that's my key takeaway from here. And I think we have had wonderful insights from you. So, thank you, Pavan, for sharing all of these with us. And to our listeners, stay tuned for more stories from Epsilon. Thank you.